Hello all. We're going to continue our ideas of extending linear models and creative ways to employ multiple regression. And today we're just going to talk about using Minitab to create indicator variables. We're going to do some of the applications in later videos, but today it's just using Minitab to create the indicator variables. Remember what we did with the indicator variables. We have, let's say, 5 categories. We only need 4 indicator variables. One, we have the reference variable that would be all zeros. And the other ones would have 1 for one of the variables like x1 and zeros for the other. Okay, so there are 2 ways that we can use Minitab to do this. One is go to the Calc menu and make indicator variables. And I kind of want you to go through that just so you can kind of understand where this comes from. The other one is using regression command with categorical predictors. So let's go ahead and take a look at some data here. This is for STEM degrees, like what percentage in certain areas women make up the STEM degrees and what their median salary is. So I want to take a median salary and then look at this major category for engineering. So for example, the median salary for someone in petroleum engineering is $110,000. You could see that only 12% of the women go into that degree. And you can see down here, astronomy and astrophysics starts at 62,000. This is actually data is like 5 years old, by the way. And about half of those would be female. So let's go ahead and do one way of creating the categorical data. What I'm going to do is go up here to Calc, and then it says right here, make indicator variables. Okay. And my major category, and when I split this out, it allows me to say, okay, I've got 5 categories, and here's the columns which they correspond to. So I hit OK, and notice then I get these new values over here. So the category of biology. Now, so like if you look over here, that anytime that you're in engineering category, you get a 1 and a 0. So it's almost like what we had before. The difference here is that what I would suggest you do is that since we want biology to be our reference variable, go ahead and either ignore that or delete it. Okay, now I can use my regression equation, stat regression, and I want to fit the median with these categories. And the thing that I'm going to not include is biology. So notice I did not include biology here. So if I go ahead and hit OK, it gives me my regression equation and our normal everyday standard error coefficients and all. Gives me my model summary, my analysis of variance, all sorts of different things. Okay, so that's one way that we could go ahead and do that. Now let's try the second way with Minitab, and that's the part of where you just ask Minitab to do it yourself. So we'll go to stat regression, and instead of putting our continuous predictors here after we made the indicator variables, what I'm going to do is just do it off of the categorical data of categorical predictors. And this is going to look very similar. If I hit OK, then it tells me, okay, I've got the same 5 predictors. Notice that I made the first one biology 0, and that's not an accident. In some sense, this will be the reference variable. So no matter what my biology and life sciences is going to just add 0 to my median equation. And again, I get the same sort of analysis of variance and categorical data. So those are the 2 ways you could do it. Use calculus to make the indicator variables. The other way is just use the command with categorical predictors. So let's just kind of talk about how this might work. What is the mean salary for health? Well, remember that the way we represent health is 0, 0, 1, 0. So under this equation, we put 0 in for computers, 0 in for engineering, and so forth. And so we get 404 times 1 and add that together, and we get a median salary of 36,825 for health. Let's now do this for engineering. Remember that engineering is 0100. So we put in 0100 and add that up, and so the median salary, starting salary for engineering is $57,382. But what about for our reference variable? Well, it's all zeros, so you put zeros in all the other ones, and we get the 36,421 values. So let's just kind of see how this would look for the indicator variables. What we would do is have the equation y equals beta naught, beta 1 x1, beta 2 x2, beta 3 x3, and x4. For biology, we put zeros in for x1, x2, x4, and we get y equals beta naught. For computer science and math, we'd put beta 1 or 1 in for x1 and zeros everywhere else. And so its equation, its estimate would be beta naught plus beta 1. Engineering, 0, 1, 0, 0. The beta 1, beta 3, and beta 4's cancel off and get beta naught plus beta 2 and beta naught and plus beta 4. So this is going to be a good way of using this. And this is kind of an ingenious way of using the indicator variables for categories of your BIC more than 2. Okay, so again, the method 1 was to use the indicator variables, and you can see the first one equation there. The other one is use the regression command and put your category and the categorical predictors. And see down here, the only difference is that you have a 0 here for biology, and there's nothing up here. Okay, and it's the exact same equation that you get. So both of them provide the same ways. Okay, let's try one more with Minitab. Let's go ahead, and I looked at this other data, and I think, nope, that's not the data. This is the data that I want. This is from the 2018, I believe it is, NCAA tournament, and they list all the men's and women's teams. And this is there in column 14. This is the team rating, and it tells you what region they are and the team seed. And what they did was, this is from Nate Silver's 538, at each round they would tell you what the percentage chance it was of winning the next round. And so this is after the fact, right before the final game between Michigan and Villanova for the championship game. But anyway, let's see if I can say I have the team region. There are 4 regions, East, West, South, and Midwest. So that means that there are going to be 3 predictor variables. So again, I go to Calculate, Make Indicator Variables, and I want to do it over team region. Okay, so I select that, and then it tells me all these. Actually, it gives me a little bit more because East, Midwest, South, and West are all the men. The women's are Spokane, Lexington, Kansas City, and Albany. But we'll go ahead and do that. And so what I do is I get this other region. I'm going to ignore Albany, and that's going to be my indicator variable. So I could go to Stat here, Regression, and fit the regression model. My response will be on the team rating, and my continuous predictors will be everything from C18 to C24. I guess I did get everything in there. And so if I hit OK, then my regression equation tells me what I have up here, and I can use this. So for example, if I wanted to know what the team rating would be for the team in the East, I would take 84.339 plus 2.094, or minus, and so that would give me about 82 for a team rating for a team that came from the region from the East. And if I wanted someone from the region South, all these others would be 0, and I get 84.39 minus 0.52, so that'd be about a 78.8 region. So you can kind of use this to test out their categories. So again, I made indicator variables here with the 1 in this category, and I'm going to make the team region Albany my my reference variable. I'm just going to ignore that when I put it in here, this in here. So indicator variables are pretty powerful, and Minitab can help us do some things. And so we will continue to look at these in future videos.